Was good. We got another UFC 5 CAF for y'all. Was requested. Andreas Gustafsson. I am not sure if I pronounced that right or not, but here he is before we kind of get into the whole thing here. Kind of little spin kind of thing. He looks great. For as much time as this took me, it took a very long time. As we get into the general info here. Keynote here with his social media handle. I went with his actual Instagram that I found. It just gets cut off after you hit the character limit. Not a big deal, and it's not relevant, but that's why it looks like that. Anything in Sweden, really. I couldn't find the actual city he was born in, whether that be from Tapology or some other source I'm forgetting at the top of my head. Anything in Sweden works. Currently 34, you can leave him at 6'1", 170. I believe he's an Orthodox guy. If he's not, simply change it to Southpaw, but I'm pretty sure he's an Orthodox. Alright, skin tone. I tried to keep it nice and simple. You could go 2 or 3 if you really want, as in the default options. I thought this was a little too light. This might be a little too dark. You might have to mess with it, or I might have to tweak it. It's kind of whatever. Hair, nice and simple. He doesn't have any from what I was looking at here. Color, because he doesn't have anything, I don't think this matters, but I just basically did the third option for both primary and secondary. Eyebrows. Couple different kinds that you could have used. 3, 4, which is the one I have. There was another one here I was looking at. Like, 11 has a good shape, but I thought these were a little too bushy, so I didn't opt to use them. 10 actually does not look bad either. 9 actually looks probably the best now that I'm looking at it. So I might change it to 9. Yeah. Like, I could have drawn the eyebrows in, but that would have taken a while, and I would have to mess with the eyes and sculpting, and it was a hassle. But any of those that I mentioned would work. I think I'm actually going to go in 9. But, like I said, I did go 4. 10 wouldn't be bad. 9. Pretty much any of these. Yeah, pretty much a lot of these would work as long as they're not too bushy or like these just looks awful, and I don't know who would use those, but that's besides the point. Face, as in facial hair, none. Just put it at facial hair 1. Color, same thing, doesn't really matter. Eyebrow color, third option, dark brown from what I was looking at. Body hair. I think he only had a little bit on the arms, so that's why I went with body 2. Now, I do want to go back to the skin tone for a minute. On the recording here, it's gonna look darker than what he actually is, and I think that's because of my capture card that I'm gonna have to mess with a little bit at a later time. But just an FYI, it's gonna look different on your end when you actually apply the skin tone. Like even the first one looks a lot lighter on this recording than anything else, but once you actually do them on your game, then you'll kind of have an idea of what his skin tone will actually be. Body type, there's a lot you can choose from. I went with 24. 18 wouldn't be bad. I don't know about 23. 22 could work. 20 actually might be your best bet. I'm just not exactly sure how long his arms are. Just kinda 15 actually doesn't look bad. So, like, any of these types that I'm kind of pointing out, Yeah, just like a really tall torso and like long arm type of look. I might end up changing this, and you might end up changing this. Ooh, I'm kind of liking 5 here. 5's not bad. This one is like I might play around with just to see which one I like. But for right now, just kind of choose which one that you think. So for right now, I went 24, but I wouldn't hate the idea of 5 or 8. I'd have to do a little bit more, quote-unquote, research. Tattoos! As you can see, there are 74 layers. And I started with this, mind you. I'm gonna do the best I can to walk through these, because there is a lot to go through. This took up the most time, obviously. But I did it, alright? And it may not be the greatest, but I did it. We're gonna start on the back here. Is where kind of the big ones are. Purple font 20, sorry, it's 2 a.m. Just kind of up on his shoulder blades, but not like on his neck. So kind of like right there. You could shrink it even a little bit if you'd like. And now that I'm looking at it, I think I am going to shrink it just slightly, like kind of more like that. Try to center it best as you can. Something like that. 2, as in shapes 1, this dot in the middle here, yeah, I'm actually gonna keep it at full color like that. Just kind of center of his spine kind of thing. This is the best way I can describe it. This one, I hated doing so much, and you'll see why. A lot of these shape 19 are the, I guess, like, the lines and stuff. There's 8 of them. I went to, 1 on top, 1 on bottom, and then I went for the 2 sides. So that puts you at 4, and then kind of like, an X. You kind of see what I mean. I didn't really line it up perfectly. Again, this was very difficult. So just make sure you have at least 8 of them. Like, this one's kind of a combination of this line, because if I, like, grew it or tried to stretch it anymore, it kind of looked weird, and yeah. So I'm gonna kind of, like, do my best to highlight all these and kind of show you where they go and all of that fun stuff. This took me, I don't even know. I don't, like, 2.5 hours maybe. I don't really. There's, when I get to it, I'll show it. I chose to like draw these out basically, but the one up top here, yeah, like this one. Where is it? There was a special font that I was working with. Here it is. You could opt to go with... Oops. Hold on. 1 second. You could use, a letter to, kind of not have to draw it so you don't have so many tattoos. Where is it? Where'd it go? There it is. The only thing with this one, is they're not... The top of it is not correct. It's more at an angle, when in reality his actual tattoo is straight up and down and not at an angle like this. So that's why I didn't want to use this tattoo. It didn't look exactly right. So like I said, I opted to draw it, and now I gotta go all the way back down to figure out where I was. My bad. I think I kind of have an idea. Nope, we didn't get to that one yet. You know what? I'm just going through it again, okay? Like, the E's here. Something close to this. Oh, here we go. Perfect. So it's like a football goalpost. Like, American football goalpost kind of thing. So, that's kind of what I did. You could move these in a little bit, but then you want to, like, shrink the line that they're, like, sitting on, too. I did a rough estimate. He did have really good reference photos on his Instagram that helped out a lot with this tattoo. Now, mind you, this entire, all these parts are one tattoo design. So, yeah. There's gonna be a lot of them. This one you could draw out, too, if you wanted. Don't make yourself do more work than you already have to. This took me forever to do. This one, there's a couple, like, little dots that are missing. I couldn't shrink them down small enough for the ones that I was working with. Like, this one's a prime example. There was, like, a little dot in between here. And I tried, this was the smallest I could get it. But then, like, it's got, like, that, like, that dark color to it. It just doesn't quite work as exactly as I hoped for. So I think that's the only one I did that one for, because I think there's a couple little dots like that I left out. You can find this tattoo pretty easily if you just look him up on the internet, whether it be on Google or his Instagram. This is... It may not be lined up exactly. I mean, this took over 70 different shapes and layers, and this one, just start off like with a C, and just rotate it like so. And that is that. This one, if you can do it with just one line, do it with one line. I, for some reason, did it with two. Not a big deal. Same thing with this. If you can do it with one line, do it with one line. I ended up doing it with multiple, as you can see. And we're not even really halfway through this. Again, same layer C, you're just going to rotate it downwards for both of those. Some of these may not be sized the right way either. This one, I will show you on this one as I take this one. You could use like this E shape that I was showing earlier. It probably works the same if you're able to size it just right. So that's another alternative. This one too is missing two lines, but for one, I can't get them small enough to make it realistic, and two, unless I move the entire tattoo over, the lines may have ended up going on his ribcage, when in reality they were on his lower back and all that good stuff. Again, with this one, if you can do it with one line, do it with one line. Alright, all of that was just for the back tattoo. About 53 layers. That was just the back tattoo. Okay. Miscellaneous 23, kind of right in the sternum. Give it a good size. Still gotta be legible. So I could maybe opt to make this one a little bit bigger. If I can maybe get it that's not touching. Yeah, something like that maybe. However you want to do it. Text 5 kind of on the collarbone kind of thing. That's why it's like not on the arm, even though like I could have done that, but you get the idea. This I'm gonna bring down here kind of by his belly button. I use this for the wings to get the color, so I tried to line it up to like these, like I guess this gold part on the bottom is where I would have put, I don't know if they were praying hands, but they were hands of some sort. So that kind of fills in that spot where there would have been hands, but there's not, like, a hand-type tattoo. That are just, like, pure hands. I tried doing Angels and Demons 3, because you can see how it has the little hand. But even then, when you mess with it, it messes with the whole thing, and you can't, like, focus just on the hands. So, like, if I just use this, it would look odd, so I didn't go and use that. Beast, I think this is... He's got names, like, engraved into his chest hat. I tried to go with the texts that work the best, and, like, kind of put them in the wings of this one, kind of. Same with the other side, I used Los Angeles, just kind of hidden there in the wings. Where was this one? Oh, yes, his, like, neck tattoo, which... This one wasn't really all that funny, either. It was actually easier. I tried to do this the best I could. I don't know if that R is sized right. This one I took a different approach to. I basically went with a triangle and then added the legs, I guess you could say. So, I don't know what this means. I just copied it. And I think I did an okay job on that. This one, C, just rotate it to make it look like a U, and just set it right on top, and you're good to go for that. What was this one? Oh, yeah. You could put this one first before the line, whichever, you just make sure that the line is running through. I might have even did that wrong. And then Celtic Tribal 15 is the one, like, I layered over because of the bottom part of it, and then I tried to match it with the wings of the other one to, like, get color to it, if that makes sense. I didn't want to go in, add multiple more shapes just to fill in the color, because that would have just taken way more time, and since that was the last one for the chest tattoo, I'll kind of show you what I mean here. Or, shapes. There you go. Like, shapes too. Like, I have to, like, try to size it all right like this. And just, like, fill in the color and just... I'm not trying to make any more work than I need to. Because then... Yeah, I have to fill out this entire design, and... If you have time to do that, you're crazy, but go for it, I guess. This one, it's doable. I don't know if it's worth doing. And, like, covering up the, like, heart in the first design, and it's just more of a hassle. I already have 74 layers. I'm not trying to make it 100. Left arm, I tried with this one. This one was pretty easy. Animals 20. You could go with Animals 12 too. It doesn't have that bright color to it, but it might be a little bit more accurate. But I opted to go... Actually, now that I'm looking at it, if you can line it up just right, I'm gonna try that real quick. Hold on. While I kind of... Whoops. Okay. I'm gonna make sure I have it flipped the right way. I don't think I'm gonna keep this. Whoops, that's the wrong one. If you can, like, get the birds to match up, kind of like that, and still be able to get, like, a bright color. Like, if you can overlap them like this, kind of get the idea, then do that, because the bottom of Animals... What was it? Animals 12 is more realistic, but Animals 20 is the more realistic bird, if any of that made sense there. So I'm just gonna delete that and carry on. Fusaka font. I don't know if this is actually what he has on his arm. I kind of was able to get a glimpse of it, and that's kind of what it looks like. These tattoos I had a very tough time doing. With this one, I kind of used it because of like the little flame that is sticking out kind of looked similar, so that's why I positioned it like that. And then this one is a cross, or supposed to be a cross, which actually he's got a very similar tattoo that I actually have, but there's not an actual like cross shape that works. Like this one, it doesn't quite work, but I could see if you want to try to use it instead or something like that. I don't know how you would overlap that and whatnot, but you could try to do it. Like if I could take out this little flower and replace it with the cross like this and still have like that outer circle, I probably would do it, but there isn't a cross or anything that I was able to find that was close. And I didn't really stumble upon anything that I could draw with, because it's got a very bold outline, and there just isn't much you can do. So I just tried to get what the best thing closest to it was, and that was this flower thing, but in reality it's a cross. It's hard to explain. Right arm. This one was pretty easy. Just make sure you're having it vertical and all that good stuff. I think I got that pretty accurate. This was like a little soldier helmet looking thing that I think he had, and I kind of used the hat as that, since there wasn't really like... Why do I keep going into fonts and stuff? I don't know why I'm doing that. There really wasn't like anything that like even came close, so I just kind of opted for the clown. So that's what we got rocking there. Angels and Demons 10, kind of on his lower arm. When I looked at it, I think it was like two characters, or like stick characters, giving a German suplex to the other one. So I just kind of went with a barrage of little things and people, and I tried. Some of these tattoos you might opt to go for, fine. Left and right leg, I didn't do. On his left, he has like a king cobra on his thigh, and then on his right leg, he has a cross. If you want to do his cross tattoo, my brain is just not wanting to work. You can. I'll show you on the shin here. Something like this. Just put it on his thigh, like so. I didn't bother putting it because when we get to the gear, it's just gonna cover it up anyways. So depending on what gear you want to use, the only thing here with like the King Cobra is they don't really have anything that even comes close to a snake. Oh, I don't know how you want to go about that one. Okay, I guess you could go with this. And then just put it on his thigh. It's the closest you're gonna get from the looks of it, but at least it's better than nothing. But those are the only ones he has on his legs. But like I said, I'm not gonna bother putting them if I have the gear covering it up. I'm just not realizing I'm getting to his head template and all that. This one was pretty okay. I went with template 5 and just tweaked a few things. I didn't really look at any other ones. I think that one was like, I looked at it and I'm like, oh, yep, that's basically him. So that's the one I chose. His eye color, brown or dark brown, whichever. Now we'll get into the sculpting. I didn't really do anything with his face. I just left that all at default. I brought his brows just kind of closer to his eyes, if that makes sense. I tried doing that. I didn't mess with the eyes themselves. I didn't really want to do all that, and they looked pretty okay. Cheeks, you just bring them in a little bit, and that good stuff. The ears, you could leave at default. I just extended them out just a touch. So that's one that one is. Nose. This one was tough. It's not quite the same shape, but if you do too much, then you lose the shape of it completely. So if you can shape his nose better, by all means do that. His jaw, just kind of bring that in a little bit so it's not sticking out. Same with the chin. You don't want it to stick out as much, and all that good stuff. And that's that for y'all. We got through the body, we went through the tattoos, clothing. That's just kind of, these are all UFC gear, whatever gear you want to put on them. And then for style, there's a couple. I went with Marlon Vera. Before that, I went with Kimbo. Before that, I think I went Kai Kara France. Before that, I went Yuri Prohaska. There he is. And then, I think before that, I went Mighty Mouse. Demetrius Johnson. So, any of those should work out for you. But, yeah. I took a lot of time to do this, so I hope it turned out okay for whoever requested it. I'm not looking at on hand. It's 2:30 a.m. I've recorded this for 28 minutes. Minutes. So there you go. There is Mr. Gustafsson for you in all its glory ahead of his fight at UFC 316. Hope you enjoy, and if you got any more that you would like me to do, comment down below, and I will get to them. And I will see you guys with the next CAF.